This conference will now be recorded.
Now give a name, login.feature or something like that. Click on finish. Now inside this login feature, open this. Open this login feature. Why it look like this? Okay, so can you remove this again? You delete this feature file again. Click on OK. And also close this feature file from here, from this tab. You see this? Yes. Close this one. Click on don't save. I don't need anything. Now open this, like create this feature file again. Okay, finish. Now select all, and you already have copied your code, so paste it. Select all, remove it, and paste it here. Just do the Control V. That's it. Why is this?
Sufficient. Yeah.
So you copied that the steps, right? Did you?
No, I just select all and I did Control V. That means it's been deleted.
Oh, it's gone. Yes. You didn't copy everything. Okay, that's fine. I'm sharing this code, these tips here in the chat box. Open that and paste it again. Where is the chat box here? Okay. Okay. So you can copy this and paste it here.
Yes. Now I can.
You can.
Now I can see the chat. I couldn't see the rest of this one.
Okay, let me make myself presenter so that you can copy that. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Did you copy that?
See, I'm doing it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now the only thing I think step definition. You already have created this step definition, right? So now try to run this and see if it is working or not. What is the issue?
This look like same issues.
Path must exist. Users. Clips. Capable learning. Source to Java features. Login the feature. Can you show me the project explorer again? Okay. Source test.
This one.
Not this one, basically. We don't need to do anything in the step definition because the problem is with your feature file. So create another feature file. Uh, Create another feature file. Do one thing. Yeah, create another feature file. Then we'll check that if it is not working there. No, not here. In right click on the features folder. So all your features will be in one single folder. Okay.
Okay, so you want me to delete it first, or
No, keep it. Keep it. Create a new feature file with a different name. No, you cannot give same name, so you have to give a different name. So standard login, just type standard user login, something like that. Standard user dot feature. Feature. Finish it. So it created this. Now copy the codes from login.feature and paste it here. No, this one is already open. You have to go to the other.
yeah, I used it.
No, go to the open the other feature file. Open the other feature file and copy the steps. Not
Yeah, I
this
should.
file. Copy the other feature file, the login.feature.
This-
Yes. Now copy this thing from here and paste it here. Okay. Now try to run this and see. Now I think it's working. No, it's working. Can you see the console? You see that? It says that it's asking you to create the functions of this name. So the functions you have there is not matching. That's why this says that these are not matching function. Or sometimes, if even though if you have this function, it says that this function is not available. So what you can do is you can just copy this and paste it in step definition and modify the steps. Okay.
So you would copy this one and paste it in
No,
the step.
in step definition. So in the console, it says that this function need to be implement, right? These steps need to be implemented. You
Yeah.
see? So you have to implement these steps in step definition class.
So I have to modify something here.
Yes. So you have to take this. Okay. So let me get this one. It will be more quicker. Okay. So here, if you see something like that, instead of, because you already have a step definition class, I can see that you already have a step
Yeah.
definition class. So instead of creating this function again, you see that this O is in lowercase, but this O is in uppercase. You see that?
Yeah, yeah. So I
These
had to copy paste all the step here.
yes, these are very small change, but still it's not gonna work. So what you can do is
Okay.
you can just copy this line,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
copy only this line, and paste it here because your feature file steps are basically try to look for this line. Whatever you have in this at the rate given annotation, it will try to look for that line. It will not check this function name or any other thing. Okay, and
Okay.
and also you see that this web driver you make
Yes.
again local variable.
Okay. So I had to be a global one.
Yes, you cannot do that. So same thing for each and every. So user entered in standard username, password. So you have to change these things. So did you type it manually?
Here, no, I just when it doesn't work, I tried. I use the same way you said, like copy paste from the login feature from
Make,
here. So it,
make sure you don't copy the first word. First word is the keyword, which is here. If you see, this keyword is a annotation. So don't copy the first word of the line. Okay, so if you are copying, you have to copy it from here, user, and until this end of the line. Copy that and go back to this one, step definition, select this line from here to here and paste it. So once you're done, then go back here and try to run it. So I hope these two function at least work. Two steps will work. So two steps is working fine, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you have to do the other things as well.
So you need to do I need this one so I can delete it?
Just remove it, just delete it.
Yeah, login on.
Yes. Okay, anyone else having any issue with the cucumber? Okay, I have one thing here. Eclipse can solve or not. Not sure that refreshing the Eclipse will fix that issue or not. You can try. You can try to restart your Eclipse and see if it is working or not, or refresh the project. You can also refresh the project. Once you right click on the project, and then you will get a couple of options. One is the option is refresh, and another option you can try, because this project is a Maven project, so you can go to this Maven, and in the Maven we have one option called update project. So when you click on update project, so it will check for all the dependencies, everything. So if there is any missing something, it will get it for you. So click on OK, because this project is already selected. Now click on OK. So it will update the project. If you see on the right bottom corner, it will say that updating the project 25%. So it's updating this project. Okay, so in this way we can check if it is if this issue can get resolved or not. Okay, any other issue? Any other question? No. Okay, that's mean that Eclipse is very easy. Sorry, not Eclipse. Cucumber is very easy till now. Okay, so let's start. Let's start our session today. So still it's updating. Now it's building. Okay, that. So this is our Maven project where we have this form.xml file, and you know already about this form.xml file. Now, in our last session, we tried to understand what is BDD. BDD is basically behavioral driven development, and one of the tool of BDD is Cucumber. So we are learning Cucumber. So why we need this Cucumber? Why we need this BDD framework? Can anyone tell me? Why we need this? Why you can instead of using TestNG, why we are using Cucumber? Better communication, yeah.
This is the bridge between the between the technical and non-technical person. So anyone who
Right.
can write the manual testing, the steps, we can do the automation over there.
That's right. So basically, if you see, there is like a one feature, like you need to test. So in that feature, you might have one scenario, you might have multiple scenario. You can get all the scenario in one and in this format in multiple scenarios. So you can cover that. And in our last session, I also told you to do some practice, like create another scenario, something like this, and then this scenario is for the logged out user, and I told you to implement that one. Did you try to do that? Okay. If not, then it's fine. It's okay. So if you remember, I told you last time about this one, the validation part. So okay, so if you did the practice, then it's fine. So if I say that, okay, so I'm expecting something this, but it will give me that inventory.html. So that's mean that this test will fail. This step will fail, right? But the problem is this step will not fail, even though for the other one, the step will not fail. Let me show you this part here. Run as cucumber feature. Sure. Okay, so it's running for the standard user first. So it's running it for a standard user. It's logging into the system. So the standard user is done. Now it's going for the logged out user, and logged out user is also done. So if I go to my step, like in the console, it will tell me that everything passed. You see that? Two scenarios, and all of them are passed, right? But logically, it should be failed. It should fail, right? And it should also tell me that it's failed. So now what we can do is instead of doing these things like that before the test ng we are doing this kind of things, right? So instead of doing all these things in like all these 4 lines of code using if else condition, we can simply use assert, right? Do you remember that assert? And we use that assert from testng, right? Okay. So what is testng? Anyone? What is testng?
The framework for the this is the J unit and N unit combination of that.
Yes, it's a unit testing framework.
Framework, yeah.
TestNG is a unit testing framework. JUnit is the combination of JUnit and ANUnit. That means JUnit and ANUnit both are also unit testing framework. Am I right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So here in Cucumber we are using JUnit. Okay. So in JUnit is also unit testing framework, and in Cucumber by default, to work with the Cucumber, we also need to work with the JUnit. So we'll see that today where we are going to use the JUnit. But when we have this JUnit, so in JUnit we also have this assert. Okay, we can use either JUnit assert, or we can just take the library. We can just get the library. If you remember that, it's just simple. Like we can get the library. Before in the Maven project, we are using testng, and we have downloaded this testng library, right? But in this case, I'm just showing you that in assert, we can use that from JUnit also. Assert equals string expected and string actual, and here we can use our expected URL, which is expected and then actual, okay, in this format. Now the thing is, why it says that why we have this line on this assert or assert equals, because these functions are getting deprecated from JUnit. That's why they suggested that we should not use this kind of function which is getting deprecated. Okay, we should not use that, but still we can use it. There will be some kind of like warning we might see, but still we can use that. So that's mean even though there's that these functions are getting deprecated, but we can still use that. So let's see how it works. Well, I'm running it from, I have to run it from feature file. Okay, so this is the standard user. Now it's opening the browser again for, where is the other one? Okay, this is the one, logged out user. So both are done, and now I have to see the console. Now you see that I have two scenarios. Both of them are failed. Both of them are failed. And what is the reason of failure? And you will see here in JUnit part. You see that? Expected. My expectation is this, but I got something like this. So this part is extra. This part is basically extra. That part is missing. Okay. So same thing for the other test. I was expecting that, but here it got this. Because logged out user is always logged out, so it will not log into the system. So you will always see this URL for logged out user. So that's why we also need to understand that even though we have a function, we have to use this assert. This assert is very important thing. Assert is basically checking that the whatever the validation I'm trying to do, it's working or not. For example, the strings are matching or not, the integers are matching or not, or if that element is available or not. So this kind of validation we have to perform by using this assert equals. Okay, you got it? Any question here?
So that this assert, we use assert in TestNG also, right? So this is the same assert we are using in here, that in Cucumber?
No, so this assert is coming from JUnit. So if you see on the top, when I write that assert, you see that this assert is coming from JUnit.
Okay.
But if you want, you can also get this assert from TestNG. That you just need to add the library here. And adding the library is simple. I'm showing you again, no problem. So here you have to go to the pom.xml file. In the meantime, let me open that Chrome. Maven repository and bn repository. And on top here, you have to search for testng. Once you're done with the testng, then it will show you this testng library. So it's the same way that we did for when you are downloading the libraries, right? So in this case, we are not downloading the library. What we need to do here, because it's a Maven project. Anyone? Okay, I can do it from here. Anyone? Before that, we are downloading the libraries, but right now, because I'm using the Maven project.
We just change the version in that on the form XML. What version we need? Oh, so we can do the version, change the version for.
But you see that in form.xml, I don't have any testng, right? So which version I should change?
Oh no, so we need to so first we need to we need to go to the library and then copy and paste it in here, and then
Yes, that's right. So I have to add the dependency
yes,
because this is the first time. So that's why I just need to add the dependency. Once I added this dependency, save this, and then it will download the library. That's it. So you're done. So next thing, what you need to do is, if you don't want to use this assert from test ng, if you don't want to use this assert from test ng, go all the way top of this class, and then remove this line. Remove this import JUnit for the assert. Just remove that line, and now it will throw an error here and on that line where you are using assert. Now mouse over on this assert. Then it will give you the option from where you want to get this assert from. JUnit, testng, or again JUnit. So I want to get it from testng. That's it. You're done. So even though you are using Cucumber, you can also use this testng library in your project just for the assertion.
Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Any question?
Sorry, I missed that part. You want me to do something here?
No, you don't need to do it right now. I just told you to understand that why we need this assert.
Okay.
Okay, so you can either use JUnit assertion or testng assertion. It's up to you. But it's preferred if you use testng library, because you see that it's not deprecated. It's not getting deprecated, so you can use that. Okay. Okay, so we are done here. So next thing I need to do is, so this is the login feature. So I want to change the name of this, or let's say I will keep the same name as the login feature. So I have another, this is a positive testing. Okay, for positive testing, I will keep problem user. I'll use problem user, and I will have one more scenario. Let me change it to problem user. Then I have one more scenario, or let's say that I'll just keep these two scenario here, and I will create another feature file. So you can also create with me, no problem. So create another feature file, right click on the features folder, new, and then file. Here give a name, negative login, something like that, so that you can understand that first login is for positive and second one is for negative, where I'll keep logged out user and performance glitch user. Okay, click on finish. So this, okay, I made a mistake. Can you tell me what I did here?
It should be dot feature.
Yes, that's true. So in the interview they might ask you that what is the extension of feature file. Okay, sometimes they ask this kind of question.
So it will be negative dot feature.
Yes, give any name, it's fine. Login dot feature, and then you're done. You see that now I got this icon again here, that is a cucumber icon. So that means that this is ready for the cucumber steps. Now I will go back here, and then I will, this is also positive. Now I will just copy this whole feature file, everything from here, and paste it in the new one, in this one. Paste it. So when I'm here, why is not getting this one as a feature? Did I miss anything? No, right? If you have a problem, then it will create a problem. Okay, file negative login dot feature. Okay, now it looks good. Okay, so Control A, remove and V. Everything is fine except this positive will become negative, and then this will be logged out user, and this gonna be logged out user, logged out user. Last thing is also negative, and then this is for performance glitch user, and this one also should be the same, performance glitch user. User. Okay, so now I'm done. So this feature is fine. I have all the functions for this feature. Okay, are we making file or class? So we are making file, yeah, file, not a class. So class is only to do our script, write our codes, and we have to create a file. That's true, Ani. So thank you for that. Okay, so now the thing is, I have all the functions for this step, for all this feature file. Now, if I go back to this negative login.feature, and if I try to run it, it will run and it will tell me that some functions are missing, some steps are missing. It will tell me this steps is missing, and also this step is missing, the other one. So this is the one for problem user, sorry, logged out user. Logged out user is already there, but performance user is not there. So it will tell me that this step is missing. Okay, so it's not gonna type anything because it failed, because this step is missing. Okay, so I will implement this one. I need to implement in step definition class. So this is another user, logged out user, so I'll keep that here. Performance glitch user. So same, these two lines of code, copy that and paste it here. It's a logged out user. Instead of that, it will be performance glitch user. Right? And now if I run it, it will work as expected, right? It will log in by using this performance glitch user. It will work. Do you have any question here?
Do you want, would you really, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, no, you couldn't hear me before, so now it's fine. So do you really want us to do it now, or we can do it later? It's fine.
It will be better if you do it now. Okay, I will give you time later.
Okay, so what did you do? Basically, you created this negative, and all the negatives are here, like locked out and performance glitch, right?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, and there is the other one is only for positive is only for standard.
Positive is for standard and problem user.
Okay, so the original one that we made in the last class, right?
Yes, that's true.
So you changed that locked out one to problem user, right? So there are basically two files now, right?
Two files means two feature files.
I mean, two feature files, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So
yeah, I'll just have to, yeah.
I'll make
go ahead.
this feature file. I'll make this feature file as like a positive login, okay, so that it will be more easy to understand.
Right. So yeah, I'm a little behind, but I'll catch up. That's fine. Okay.
Okay, no problem. But this is just for the understanding, because I might have like multiple feature files. So that's why I created this multiple feature file to see that how can we run multiple feature files together. But I think that before I go for that one, because that part is something different. If I enter to that topic, that will take some time. So before I go into that one, I need to show you something from separate one feature file. Okay. Okay. So the thing is, here I have two feature files, and if you just check it carefully, do I have any repetition in the classes, in the functions? What do you think? Do I have any repetition in the functions?
Yes, you're just we are entering username and password. So
We are
using the same codes, just different entry, right?
just username I'm using for multiple times, right?
Right.
Right. Okay. Now
Password is same.
password is same.
Yeah,
Password is
password is same.
also this validation is different for logged out user, right? Because logged out user will not able to log into the system. So you have to verify that when the logged out user insert the username and password and click on login, it should be in the same page. So it will be different. So for logged out user, you have to check if this is there or not. This will be your expected URL. Okay, so that is something different. But for now, I can see that this user, when the user is inserting the username in the text box, that function is repeating for 3 times. For now, I have 3 times: standard, logged out, and preference page. There is one more for problem user, right? So we can change it also. So there could be like 4 functions with this almost the same thing. So what we can do is we can pass that data, right? We can use the same function and pass the data. It is something like in test engine we did that. So if we have a same function, just the different data, different username, we can use XML file, right? We used XML file to pass the data as a parameter. You remember that? We did that last week. Okay, so here the thing is, instead of XML file, we have to use this feature file. We can use this feature file to pass the data. Okay, we can also achieve the data-driven approach here in the Cucumber by using this feature file. Now we have to see that how can we do that. So I will create a separate feature file for that one. So I will create a separate feature file. Yes, separate feature file is fine. Let's create this one. So that feature file, I'll just say that only login dot feature. Okay, login dot feature. So I'll remove everything from here, and then I'll go back to any of the feature file and then copy this line of codes. That's it. Go back to this new feature file and paste it. So if you see, everything is almost same, right? Everything is almost same. The only thing I need to change is this part. Now I will just do this one. So what's the username you want to send? Standard user. For example, like you want to send standard user. So I will keep this standard user in a double quotation. Okay, and this is login testing. Login functionality testing. Okay, so it's like overall. Everything is same except this part. I changed this to like make this one as a like data. I want to keep that in a double quotation. Now let's try to run it and see if it is working or not. Can anyone tell me, will it run as expected, or do I need to implement this step?
It will if you have already done some steps, You'll only have to do the new ones. You don't have to repeat.
So do I have any new steps here?
Do you have any new steps? Yeah, there should be standard user, then standard user locked out is already there. So there should be two more, performance and problem, right?
Performance and problem user is it doesn't matter. Let's say that we don't have problem user. Now I'm working with the standard user. And standard user state definition, I already have this function, standard
Yeah, it
user.
should be already there. So
So do you think that we don't need to create you think that we don't need to create any function for that one, right?
right.
Okay. So everything is there. All the steps are defined. Anyone else? You all agree with Safin? Okay. I got one yes. Anyone else? Okay. Two yes. Okay. You are saved because I was asked, trying to see that if anyone says no, then I was thinking to get the answer from that person, but nobody says no. So as I mentioned earlier, like in last session, in your step, even if you make one extra space, you have to implement that step. Do you remember that?
Yes, space also count as a character.
Yes. Then how can you forget this part? So I used two double quotation. Then how did you miss that part? Now, if you change anything in step, you have to implement that again. So if I show you this console, you see that this run and then it didn't type anything. And now we have to understand why it didn't type anything, because it says that I have to implement this step.
Double quotation count as a string, yes.
Yes, double quotation is basically is telling you that okay, there is something there. There is something, some value is coming from that step. So you have to get it. So it's coming from here. So it's already give you that information that how you need to use this, how you have to implement this step like this. And also in the function, if you remember that in testng, if you are reading anything, if you are getting any data from testng.xml file, in the function parameter, you also have to use this parameter, right? You have to use define the variable, right? Format, if you try to relate these things, the format is almost same. Almost same. In testng, it was coming from XML file. In Cucumber, it's coming from feature file. Okay. Now let's try to implement this one. Copy this, and now let's go here in the step definitions file. So I will keep this one in top of all of this. And here it says that string. I'm not going to change anything here. This is a string and this is my variable name. So variable name I can change anything, right? I can give any variable name. That was by default variable name, so you can change it to anything. I don't need these 2 lines of code. Remove these 2 lines of code. Now I need these 2 lines of code where I am getting the element. Just simple like that. But here I was passing the data directly from the function, but now I am not going to do that. Can anyone tell me what should I type here?
Locked out user?
No. So the username is coming dynamically. We should not type any specific username here.
We can just put the class name over here, whatever the class was.
No.
You should just put username.
Yes.
This username, the string user, yeah, the string username, so username.
Yes.
That one.
You see that this string is coming from your step, and when it's coming from your step, from here, it's passing this data from here. It's coming to this place, and then it's coming to here. It's there already in the function parameter. So you just need to use it. That's it. You just need to use it here. You got the idea? If you don't, it's okay. We'll check it again with password. Okay. So let's try to go back to this feature file where we did this one. Now right click on it, run as cucumber feature. You see that? It's typing the standard user, so it's working as expected. So now my question is, do you think instead of a standard user, if I just type, for example, logged out user, will it work for the logged out user?
Yes, it should, because it's data driven, right?
Yes, that is one answer. Anything else? Yes, that's true. So it's data driven. That means that whatever the data you pass, it will take that data and just place it here in your function. So in your function, it doesn't matter that what username is coming, it will just pass the data here. Okay, got it? Any question? Let me run it to show you that it's working also with logged out user. So it's typing logged out user. You see that? So whatever you type here in this double quotation, it's simply passing that string in your function. And you just need to use that function from here to inside your function class. That's it. So now it's your turn to to create a feature file with these steps, and then just implement only one step. So you already have all these steps. You just need to implement only one step for this one. So it could be logged out user, it could be standard user. So it will depend based on your input. You understood your task?
So what is the task you need to do right now?
The task is we have to create this feature file where everything is same like previously what you did, like feature, scenario, the steps, all the steps are same except this second step. In the second step, you have to pass your username, like in double quotation, inside the double quotation. And
Okay.
once you create this step, run your feature file, then you will see what function you need to implement. Then copy that function from there and paste it in your step definition class, and then make some changes inside the function. You just need to copy these 2 lines of code from your previous function, like standard user, and paste it here. That's it.
Okay. Yeah.
So you already have all these steps. You just need to create a new feature file, paste these steps in that feature file, and then make this change. Only keep your username in double quotation, and then run your feature file. Once you run your feature file, you will get that unimplemented function in the console. You have to copy that, then you have to put it in step definition class, then you have to make some changes, and you know what changes you have to make. Let me know if you need any help. And to do this one, you have only 5 minutes, because you just need to make it, just copy and paste. So 5 minutes is more than enough. Are you done? Okay, it's 804. Okay, I got one yes. Is it working? So did you try to define username with problem user or preference split user? Logged out. Okay. Okay. Should I? Do you want to ask anything? Okay. 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 So then everything is good, but why you have username 1? Yes, beauty. You can share your screen and see what's going on here. So did you try to run? What is the issue in the console?
Expanded.
So again, same issue.
Same issues, yeah. I couldn't run previous one also.
Okay. Right click on the project. Okay, I already have a control. Okay, let me see if I can help you on that. Okay, path must exist. So what I will do is right click, new folder. I'll create another features folder in project level and see if this is working or not. Copy that and paste it here. Okay, I'll close this things so that I'm not making a mistake. Oh, this is weird. Source is Java. Source, good morning, source test Java. Oh, it's running from here. Source to Java. Why? It should be source test resources. Uh, so basically, the problem is it's trying to get this from this location, and we don't have any file here in this location. Did you create the features folder by chance here in source to Java?
I think so. Yeah.
You created that and then you deleted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why this issue happened. But the problem is, how can we resolve this? Okay, okay. Mhm, mhm. Okay, and then okay, feature path is here. The problem is here. Duplicate step definition. So you have the same steps for multiple times. So duplicate step definition, and then step definition, duplicate step definition. So you have declared the same step definition for multiple times. Okay, so let's see. Enter username. User should be the project page. Okay. Click on login button. Text username text box. Standard user. So this is duplicate, right? This one is duplicate.
Yeah, this one.
So you cannot implement the same step again. So that is a benefit, and also that is a problem. If you already did that, so you cannot do that. So let me try from my data and see what's going on here. Now it says that this why we have this one here. So it's following all the steps. Feature file. Okay, login.feature. It should be that workspace. Running test sources features login. Okay, so I believe this will resolve that issue. Yes, this resolved that issue. Now the thing is, you just need to implement this function. Okay. Okay. And
Yeah.
let me check the others. I think for others you have the same issue. So I will remove this features folder. You don't need this. Remove it. Okay, done. And for this one, resources. Yeah, it should work fine. This one also should work fine. So only the problem is with this feature file, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you got this function. You just need to implement that function in step definition. Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
No problem. Yes, Sonic, did you fix your issue? Or you need help? So I got this submission from Nasita and it's working, right? Okay. So let me make you the presenter so you can share your screen. So if you have this kind of issue in the future so that you can fix by yourself. Okay, so fail to parse resource from this location. Okay. I need the control. It should be quicker. Okay, so let's see. Say that the same thing. Resources, features, login feature. Exception is here. Why you have this package here? Why you have this in this place? This is your step definition. This should be your step definition class. Where is your step definition? Oh, you didn't create the step definition class here. Okay. I got it. I got it. Okay, let me check. Okay. You created this definition in main Java, but in our last session, I told you that usually we don't use that main Java until it's necessary, like for utility classes or web driver management. We use this kind of source main Java. Otherwise, usually we create our script and page object model in source test Java. Okay. So then what you have here, I think you have almost everything in this function, in this class, and you are typing it outside the class. So this got resolved, but the problem is we don't create anything here here. We don't do anything. So I think you copied it for something else, right? So keep it in a notepad. Open a notepad and keep this part of the code in a notepad so that you can use it later. Just type notepad. Yeah. Okay. No. You're missing some lines. Okay. Let me do that. Let me do that. It will be quick. Let me do it. Okay, so I will minimize it so that you can use it later. Now let's try to run it and see if it is working or not. So this one is working fine, and you see that these steps you need to implement. And one more thing is you need to, I told you to keep this standard user in a double quotation so that this will be in a dynamic. Now, whatever the function you get, implement that one. Okay. Now implement these two functions there. These two, three. Yeah, these three. Okay. Now you'll be good. And the rest of the thing you can do it in the break time. Just implement that function. Okay. So
Yes, Zakir bhai.
yes.
So you were asking me why my username 1 came?
Yes,
It
because
automatically did that because I think what I did is I was just supposed to, I already had that function, so I could have always just do it on like paste it in there, but I actually created another function for that. I pasted it in a new way, so
no,
probably
I
that's
just asked you because usually in one function, if you have username, I think you don't have another username in that function. That's why. It's
yeah.
nothing.
No, so is that okay? I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. Should I
yeah,
have?
it's fine.
That's okay.
Okay, so now we'll do one thing. Why not then the problem? So what is the problem with these steps now? So if I need to go for each and every user, I have to rename this place. I have to change the username here, right? And that is a problem. Like if you have 100 user, you have to put this all this user one by one, and you have to run this feature file, right? So that is a time consuming thing, and that is a problem for us. So still we are doing automation, but we have to do manual changes. We will not do that. For that we have something else. Okay. In feature file, we can create a table. We can create a table and we can pass this value, the usernames from there. Okay. Now I'm going to show you that one. So first rule. Okay. So first rule is we are going to create a table. So when you are using, when you want to run your script, the same script for multiple times, for multiple data. So that will be scenario outline. Okay, so if you want to run your script, the same script for multiple data, then that scenario will not be scenario anymore, it will be scenario outline. So this is very important, okay, in the feature, in the Cucumber, because we are going to use the same script for multiple data. So it will be scenario outline, the first thing. Second thing is that when you are done with all of your steps, when you are done, like everything is done, all of the steps are done, writing the steps are done, then in the end of that, you have to type examples, like that, examples. So under the example, we'll create a table here. Okay, we'll create a table. So if you remember that in our if else condition we use or sign, so we'll use that or sign, only one pipe sign, to start creating the table. So first of all, whenever you go to any table, whenever you create any table, you will see the column name, right? In each and every table, for each and every information, you will see the header. Header is the column name. So here it's the same format. So we have to give it column name. So what is the column name? Username is my column name. Okay, and then pipe sign is closed. So this is one of the row, the first row of my table. Second row, from the second row, basically my data. I have to start keeping my data. So the second row is the actual value. What is the actual value? Let's say that I'm trying to use that standard user, right? So this is my actual value. So I have to keep this actual value here under this username. And then I have to close this line with the pipe sign. So make sure you open that with the pipe sign, and you also have to close that with the pipe sign. Now your part is done here. But still, you see that I'm still passing the specific username, but I don't want to do that. Okay, so how can I get this username then? You need to use less than and greater than sign inside this double quotation. And here, instead of the username, specific username, you have to use the column name. That's it. Okay, so 3 rule you have to follow if you are using the same, if you want to use the same script for multiple data. First rule is the scenario will be scenario outline. Second rule is you have to use this examples keyword followed by the table you have to create for that specific data, and after that you have to use this column name in place of that username. Okay, now let's try to run it and see if it is working or not. You see that it's typing standard user, it's logged into the system. Now I have to check. As I said, I want to run the same script for multiple type with multiple data. So I have this standard user. So in the next line, I will use this pipe sign and say logged out user. logged underscore out underscore user. Then in the third line, I'll say problem user. Okay, let's try with these three user. So now I'm expecting that these steps will run for 3 times. Same script will run for 3 times for 3 different users. Okay, right click, run as cucumber feature. So I will prefer if you try to understand today's session, because cucumber is very easy if you understand, and most of the interview question you will get it from today's session. So this is for first user. Now I'm expecting that it will open another browser for the second user, which is a logged out user. Then it will open another browser for problem user. See that? So that same script worked for 3 users. Is it
I
true?
have a quick question.
Yes.
So let's say we have like 10 more users. On that time, every time we have to go and write down underneath the example and put this like pipe sign. Then we have to type the username. And every time
Yes,
also in the number 11, we have to give the name for the example changes name, right?
no, the column name.
Yeah, sorry, the column name. We have to also change over here
Mhm,
in the given, in
mhm.
the when.
Yes, here.
Okay.
And with that, less than and greater than sign.
Yeah, under the less than and greater than sign. So
Mhm.
these two steps we have to do the changes. Oh no, another steps remaining. We have to also in the go to the app and we have to also put the name scenario outline so that we can make the table.
Yes, that's true.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Anyone else? Any question? Till now, is it easy to understand cucumber?
Yes, Alhamdulillah, it is. But the step def, so is it just one step def we have to create for like
No,
no?
no. So there is a complexity. So here, I will try to show you today. If not, then I will show you in the next session. But the complexity is, if you can understand this part, then it will be then you will understand what is the problem is. We have this line, right? Open Google Chrome browser and go to the source demo app. If you implement
Right.
this step only for one time, you cannot implement this step again in another class. Okay. So even though if you have a 10 class, all the steps are valid for 10 class. All the functions that you created will be shared in 10 class. So that's mean that if you run that, the problem we got for what was that beauty, like when I was running, it was saying that duplicate step definition, right? So you will get the same issue. If you try to create a new class with the same given, it will tell you that duplicate step definition. That's why we need to pass the driver. We have to create a class, we have to create a function where we will create the driver, and then we'll use that driver. So I will show you if I get time, or if you are not exhausted with that all this load today, then I will show you today. Otherwise, I will show you in the next session. The very first thing I will show you in the next week is this one. Okay. Any question? So for now, just work with only one step definition class. Okay. For now. Any question here? Okay, so if you don't have any questions, so we can take a break, and our break will be today till 8:45, and then we'll come back again. In the meantime, if you're back from break, go ahead and make some changes like this, like change scenario to scenario outline, and change this one. Like before that, you are passing the data directly. Now use the column name with a less than and equal greater than sign, and also create a table like this. Then you, because you already have the code, you already have the steps, it will take only a couple of minutes only. Okay.
So
Okay.
whatever the, so in this website we just change the username, but if other time like the we need to change the username and the password. So do we need to do this?
I will show you the password after the break. So
Okay.
I'm not done yet, so I will show you the password here. No problem.
Okay.
So if you have like multiple data to pass, how will do that, right?
Yes, yeah, that's the question. Yeah, multiple data.
I'll show you after the break.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so let's take a break now. What should I write? I should write it here.
Last question before the break.
Mhm.
To create this table, we have to type everything over here on the login feature, right?
Login feature means?
That means in the features folder. You created
Yes.
this table on the features folder inside the login feature.
So why I said that to create a features folder is all of your features will be in one single folder.
Yep, that
There
one.
might be like you can create multiple features folder depending on the multiple, for example, like application. You can do that, but usually all of your features file should be under one feature folder.
Correct. Now I was just asking this table we have to create inside this login feature, not in the negative or positive login feature we created.
No, this is a separate feature file because the other features file is kind of like static.
Yep.
In every scenario is specific for each and every username, but for this one is for all of the users.
Yes. So that's why this one is inside the login feature.
Mhm.
Okay.
So do you want the code or these steps?
No, I don't need anything. I have.
No, not you, not you. It's
Okay.
someone code. Okay, let me get the code.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. So this is the code, but I think okay. Let me share with everyone. If anyone needs, they can get it. This is the code for that step only, and I believe you already have all these codes because I already shared this code before, and you already have this code. But even if you don't have it, let me just copy and paste it again. It's fine. So this is all of the code that I have in that step definition class. And also I'm sharing this step definition, like the feature file steps as well. Okay. Okay, then let's take a break and let's come back at 8:45. We have to finish this cucumber. There are like only a couple of things remaining, but it's also very important. Very important for interview also. Okay, don't miss that.
This conference will now be recorded.
Just I submit that the task that time is run, but right now is not running. I don't see anything. That's when I speak.
Okay, so first of all, where you created this Java class? This is not a Java. You see that this icon is something looks like a different thing, right? This icon in that left side, if you see the stepdev.java, on the left side,
This,
Project Explorer, you see that under the step definitions folder.
here.
You see that? So it should be like under the source test Java. You can
So
write you can write your code either in source main Java or source test Java. Resources are to keep the resources only, like any file to read any
okay.
data. That's it. So what you can do is create a package in source test Java. Create a package source test Java, create a package with the name step definitions with the S lowercase because this is the package name. Definitions, okay. Then click finish, and then simply copy that step definition.java, copy that and paste it in that package. Copy that and paste it inside that package. Now try to run it and see if it is working or not.
So here,
Try to run that. Try to run that feature file.
yeah. So let me try this thing first. Okay.
So it's working.
Yes, yes, okay.
Okay. And did you try with that new login feature or this tab with the data table?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. 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 So let's start again. Anyone else having any issue? No. That is really a good news. Okay. So now the thing is, in this case, because we have a same password, that's why we can just keep it in this way. Or let's assume that for different user there is like different password, and you have to verify that. Because for different user we have a different password, so in the data table we have to create another column called password, and remember that you have to open and close with the pipe sign, but between the two column name you have to keep only one pipe. Okay, now what is the password? Secret sauce, right? Let me go to this website. I forgot that. Okay, secret sauce, copy that and go back to the code and paste it here. And as I mentioned that in this website, we have the same password, so we have to keep it in this format. Okay, and we have to make this part dynamic, right? Before that, it was taking the same like password from the data. The password was hard coded, but we want to make it dynamic. To make it dynamic, we have to go and change something in this place. So can anyone help me to do this part? The answer is in front of you. You just need to tell me.
You have to put it in quotation.
Okay, first of all, I have to keep that in a quotation. And inside the quotation, yes, on it.
Onik already said first bracket, sorry, less than and greater than.
Yeah, less than and greater than sign like this. That
Yes,
the
on
same
it.
way we do.
Your answer is right. And what else?
Secret
Password.
or password. Password.
Password.
Yeah, password. Password. Yeah, password.
Column name, right?
Yes, yeah.
Password, which is a column name. Now, if I run it, it will run and it will also tell me that I have to implement this line, right? But I can also make it manually if I want it. If I want it, and if you do practice for a couple of months, then you will also able to create it. So it's a simple. I will just copy existing function. Sorry, not class, existing function, and here let's keep it like it's gonna take some time. So I don't want to waste my time today because there are like a lot of things we need to learn today. So let's try to run it and get this function from the also. Okay, so it's working on the first one. So it's done. Insert the username, but there is no password because for the password we have a new step. For password, we have a new step, the third one. Again, same thing. For the password, we have a new step. So I'll close all of them, and then I will get this one from the console and paste it here in a step definition. Now I will paste it before this password displays. Now, as I mentioned before, it's a variable name. You can give anything, it doesn't matter. Don't change anything here. Don't make any changes in this part, because this is the part which is basically making the connection between your step and your function. Okay, don't do anything there, and then copy these two lines of code from previous function and paste it here. And what should I write here?
Password.
Password, because password is the variable name that is coming from the feature file. Now let's go back and try to run this again and see if it is working or not. Username, password, able to log in. Now it's time for the second one. Username, logged out, password, not able to log in. Now the third one. Username, problem user, password, now able to log in. So this is called data table. This is called data table. Okay. Now, a couple of questions. First of all, if we want to achieve the data driven in Cucumber, how can you do that? Anyone?
We need to make the table to pass the data.
Yes, we have to make this table. We can get the data from the feature file by using the data table. So this one called as data table. So you have to mention this name, data table. Okay, you have to mention this name. So couple of things we need to check. One is the scenario should be scenario outline. Then there should be a the examples keyword followed by the steps. After all the steps, I have to use this examples keyword, and after the examples keyword, I have to create the data table. And in the steps, I have to use the column name to get the data. Okay. So my question is, let's say that in this function, the last line, user should be in the product page, right? For this one, this is my expected URL. Can we read this URL from the feature file? Can we do that? Yes or no?
What is the question?
The question is, here in the last step, I have user should be in the product page, where inside this function, I have an expected URL with a value, but I want to read this value from the feature file. Can we do that? I got only one yes. Yes, we can do that. So because you don't have any question like you didn't say that no, that's why I'm not going to show you, but that will be a part of your homework. Thank you. Now, next thing. So this is the very important part of the cucumber. Like I will try to show you that how can we read the data, read any data from Excel sheet. But in case if you don't know, if you see that that is very complex, like reading the data from Excel sheet, you can ignore that part. If you just tell them that yes, I know how to read the data from the outside of the script by using the data table from the feature file. If you are trying to keep that cucumber in your current project, then you can just say that feature file. I can use a feature file to read the data by using the data table. Or if you're using testng, you can say that I can use the data. I can keep the data in parameters in XML file, testng XML file. Okay, so this is very important part. And there is possibility, like they might ask you the question from here. Now, moving to the next part, which will make you happy and confused. So
Happy and confused.
yes, happy and confused. So let's start and you'll understand why I said that. So I will not come to this point again. Do you have any question? I will not come to this topic, this feature file again. Do you have any question from this feature file? No? Okay. So let's work with these two feature file now. Now let's say I have this, like this feature file, I have like 10 feature file, and I want to run all this feature file. It's kind of like same thing we did in testng, right? In testng, you are creating multiple class for multiple script. Now to run all of this script, you have to go each and every script and then run that script as like testng test. But when you learn that we have a testng XML file where we can mention all the class name and then we can run as a testng suite. Here we also have the same thing, but it's a little different. So the thing is, if you need to run multiple feature file from one place, we need a class. Okay, for that class, we need to create a package. So what is the packages? So I will create the package in source test Java. Right click, new package. Why I'm creating a package? Because you might have multiple class, multiple of that class. Like one class is for smoke, another is for sanity, another is for regression. So you can create multiple class. So I will give a name of test runner package. Test runners. So I will keep all the test runners here. So inside this package I will create a class called test runner.
We also follow you, right?
Yes, you have to. So you have to create a package in source test Java, and then inside that package you have to create a class called test runner, and then you have to click on finish. Now this is our new class. The good thing about this class is we are not going to write anything inside the class. This is a kind of like empty class. We are not going to do anything inside the class. Is it confusing?
Yes, till now everything we did inside the curly bracket.
Yes, that's true. Till now, everything did inside the curly bracket, because we need to create a function. If we need to create a global variable, everything we need to do inside the class. Now for this runner, this class, this is a very special class, and we call this class as a test runner class. So if your question is how you run your test suite in testng, what will be your answer? how you run your test suite in TestNG XML file. Now, if anyone asks you, if you are using Cucumber, if anyone asks you how you run your test suite in Cucumber, your answer will be test runner class. Okay, test runner class. In this class, we don't have anything inside the class. We have to write everything before this class part, after the package, but before the class. Okay, the first line you have to write is @run with parentheses cucumber with the C capital, and in run with R capital W capital. Okay, @run with cucumber dot. When you put a dot, there is only one option, and that is a class. Select that class, then you will see something here automatically. Now mouse over on this run with, then it will tell you that you have to import this run with, and this run with is coming from JUnit runner. So select this import, then this import is done. Are you with me? Yep. So I believe you created this class. Now when you're done with your class, then before this class starts, you have to type this @run with R capital and W capital, and then parentheses. Inside the parentheses you have to type cucumber.class, then that line is done. Next line, @cucumber options, and then again parentheses, and you have to import this cucumber options, and make sure that cucumber option for import you will get it from io.cucumber.junit. Select that. Got it? Okay, so everyone got it, which is a very good sign. Now keep your cursor in the middle of this two parenthesis bracket, opening and closing bracket, and hit enter and make some space. So this is the opening and this is the closing. Okay, do that. So the thing is, we have to work in this place, in this cucumber options. We are not going to do anything in the test runner class. Inside the class, we have to do in the cucumber options. Okay, now as I mentioned that if you want to run multiple feature files, first say that you want to run all of your features file from this features folder. then we have to do some kind of like suite, right? We have to run the suite. To run a suite in Cucumber, we need this test runner class, or you can also call this as a JUnit test runner class. Either one is fine. Okay, so better answer is JUnit test runner class. Now here, first of all, you have to mention where is your feature files are. So where is your feature file? You have to mention that. So type features equals to, and in double quotation you have to give the path of your feature file. So can anyone tell me where is the feature file path? What is the feature file path here? If you can see the package explorer, because I know that it's very small, so let's not waste that time here. So the feature files, I have the feature files here in source, test, resources, and inside these resources I have a features folder. So you have to keep it in the same format, src/test/, what is that, resources. You have to type exactly the same thing here, same path, and then features with F capital. Okay, so this is the features file path, and I believe for everyone it is the same, so that that's why I'm just sending you this to everyone so that you can just copy and paste. So this is the place that I want that all the features file to run. Okay, so let's try to run this class. How will run it? Right click, run as JUnit test. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, with the Cucumber JUnit, we have to work with the JUnit. So when you need to run the test suite, basically we need this class, and this class is called JUnit test runner class. Okay, and you have to run this class as a JUnit test. Click on this JUnit test and see what's happening here. So it's running, but it's not doing anything. You see that? It says that all these functions I have to implement. Okay, it's not showing in this part, but let me show you. Let me see if I can show you here. Okay, let me drag it to this part here. Okay, you see that? So all these tests failed, and it's telling me to implement all these functions. But I already have all these functions, right? I already have these functions. So this is the place where I mentioned that where is my features file. Now I also have to mention where is my step definition classes are. Okay, so I have to say glue. You know what is glue? What is glue is? Do you know that? Okay, same thing. You have to stick your step definition class with your features. That's why we need to use this glue. Now inside this double quotation, this is the good part here. We don't need to write down all the path of the step definition package. You just need to mention the package name here, which is a step. Let me just try to refactor, rename, and then copy it from here. Copy this, copy, and then paste it here. Okay. And one more important thing, when you have multiple lines in class, what we did, each and every line, to close each and every line, we have to use semicolon. But in this case, these are options. If you remember in testng, for each and every parameters, in the annotations like groups, enable, then what else? Priority. If you have a multiple parameters, then you have to use comma. Same rules goes for here. Okay, because this is under the parentheses, so you have to use comma here because these are multiple options. Okay, so now this is done. So let's see if it is working or not.
Yeah, I just have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say that, if it's blue, that means we are doing it right, right?
What is that? If it is?
Okay, so like how you're saying that it has to be exactly the same way. So to be confirmed about that is it has to be blue. If it's not blue, that means we are doing somewhere something wrong. Is
No,
it, or no?
no. That blue means something else. Blue means that things are inside the double quotation. But I was talking about glue. Glue, glue.
No, I know. I'm not talking about that blue. I'm saying the letters are going to be blue colored.
No, blue color, everything is like that are inside the double quotation. Whatever you keep inside the double quotation, that is blue.
Okay. That doesn't prove that we are doing it right.
No. If you don't have any red underline, that's mean that you have an issue in that line.
Okay.
So you see that how many tests are running here? Do you know how many? So for this login feature, I have 3. For this login, positive login, I have 2. For this negative login, I have 2. So that's means 4 and 3, 7. So there will be like 7 browsers open. I believe it's done. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, this is the last one. So done. In this way, you can um, run all the feature files, all the scenarios together.
Like if I have one question is, in my case, or if the feature file, if any other like the any of the feature class is not running, like not working, then the whole process will be failed, right?
Any of the feature
Like that, I show you that I have something did some mistake over there, the feature file, and then you fix it, right? But I saw that my two feature file that run, but my login feature file that doesn't run. So I have some issue over there. So my question is, if one feature file is not run, like anything happened to one file, so the whole process will be the failure, right?
No, whole feature that means that it will fail. In this case, you will see in the summary that how many passed and how many failed. You'll see that.
Okay, so the thing is like that. If I am just showing you this, I make this feature file. You did the homework during the our break time. So when I run this one, it doesn't run. This is not going to.
So you have some error. So can you please open that test runner? You have that error in test runner class.
Yes.
Go to this class and fix that issue first. No, class, not the package.
Plus, okay.
So
Yeah. So
yes, if you have a comma, then you have to write the group. Just for now, just remove that comma. Remove that comma, then you're fine. Now go back to that feature file that you want to run.
so if over that this feature file is not run.
Okay, so can you please run it again? Okay, what is the issue is here? Please log in. What is that? Okay, so you are using deprecated main class, but that is not the issue. So let me get keyboard and mouse control and see.
Give me the control this one.
Yes, please. Okay, so fail to parse resource at this location. So fail to parse resource. Resource features logging features. Source trace resources features login dot feature. Careful language. Okay, now I believe it will work. No, still not working. Fail to parse resources. Scenario outline, examples, data table. Everything looks good. Everything looks good here. Why this one is in American language? So why didn't you keep that in a comment? So in programming, each and every line is important. Okay, so if you just type it, even though if it's not showing, if it's not like if there is no red on the line, that doesn't mean that your um, this feature file is right, because in feature file, whatever you type, it will accept it. One second.
Okay. Okay.
So in feature file, whatever you type, it will accept it. It will not throw you any error. But if you are typing anything which is not related to your step or any keyword, then you have to keep that in a comment.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
And good thing here with the feature file is, if you want to keep multiple line in a comment, one second. If you want to, okay, let me make myself present. I'll check that. Just give me some time. Okay, so in feature file, if you want to make multiple lines in a comment, you have to select multiple lines and use the same format that we use in Java, Control/. So it will make multiple lines in a comment like this. You see that? Now all these lines are in a comment. So this is a good part. Now, what is your issue? Let me make you the presenter. So in the meantime, if you are done, just try to type these features and also the glue and show the path of that is the definition. So make sure that in the glue you are mentioning only the package name, not the full path. So what is the issue here? Can you please try to run it and see?
Yeah. It's just an.
Try to run it and see if it is what is the issues. Click on proceed. That's fine. And what is in the console? Okay, so these are the okay, so I think this is not right. This step definition, you have a mistake in the typing mistake maybe. Can you please close this JUnit on the from the left panel, or if you go to that package explorer, click on the package explorer from the left panel, package explorer. On the from the left panel, you see that on the left panel where we see the project. Yes, package explorer on top here. Here, yes. Click here. Okay, so what is the name of that? It's the definitions. Now, you see that there is a S missing here. So in the package name, you have a step definitions, and in glue, where you type the package name, here in the JUnit test runner class, in line number 13, You just mentioned step definition. You have to put as there in the end of the definition. Exactly same package name. You have to use the same package name. Otherwise, it will not find that. Try to run it again and see. Proceed. So now it's working, but its issue is something else. So can you? Okay, can I get the control? It will be quicker. Okay, so let me check what is the issue is here. So if you see, you do not change the path of the driver. It should be your local, right? This is my path of the driver. I shared the code, but you have to change the driver path, right? So if you change the driver path, then you might be good with this code. Okay, anyone else having any issue with this test runner class?
Okay, thanks.
No problem. So I hope you don't have any problem with the test runner class, right? No questions. Okay. Okay, so next thing, what we are going to learn is, if you remember when we run that test.ng XML file, it was creating test output folder, right? By default, and we are getting the output. In Cucumber, we also have that kind of option, but for that one, we need to add one option here, and the option is plugin. Plugin equals to you have to put this one in this bracket because I'm going to use multiple parameter here. First parameter is in the double quotation, maybe it's pretty. I want to get that in pretty format, and then comma, and then double quotation. I believe it will be HTML colon and the folder where I want to get this output. So I want to get this output in target folder. Let's say target with lowercase target. You see that in Maven project we have this target folder, so we'll create a target and output folder. Inside the target, it will create an output folder, and then it will create this HTML report. Okay, then let's try to run not all of them. Not all of them. I don't want to run all of them. They'll be taking too much time. Let's just open this one. I will keep this scenario. Let me put all of them in a comment. Same thing for the positive, negative, everything in comment. Okay, well, oh, positive is not comment yet. And then control slash. Okay, now when I will run, then I believe that it will run only this feature file. Okay, so going to back to my test runner class where it says that where is my features file are, where is my step definitions are, and this is the format I am trying to get the HTML repo. JUnit test runner class. So if you get this one, JUnit on the left panel, so you can drag it down and keep it here if you want. Otherwise, if you want, you can keep it in the same place. It's up to you. So this is the one. It's running for standard user, for the first user. Now I'm checking. This is for the second one. And then the third one. Okay, so I believe all these tests are done. Yes, test is done. Now in this target folder, I don't see anything, but I have to refresh the project. If you remember that, to get the updated project, we have to refresh the project. Same thing. Now you'll see something is there in the target, and in the target I have an output. So this is something weird. So I had this issue before. I had this issue before. How can I get this one? So I can remember that I had this issue before. Okay, I'll check that. I'll check that, and then I'll try to complete this one today. But let's say that this is creating the report. Next thing is, like, how many scenarios we have in total? How many scenarios we have? Can anyone tell me?
Total, we have 4 scenario in the source demo.
No, here in the 3 feature file, I have 3 feature file. In this 3 feature file, how many scenarios we have? So in login feature, I have 1 scenario, which is scenario outline because I'm using data table. But this is one of the scenario. 1 scenario. Yes, Safin, you're right. So in positive
5
login,
scenario.
Yes,
yes, right, Mr. Dal. So 2 scenario in positive, 2 in negative, and 1 in login feature. So I have 5 scenario.
mm-hmm.
Now I want to run a specific scenario. I want to run a specific scenario from each feature. I don't want to run all of this scenario. So in Cucumber, there is a way we can do that. So the way is, let me ask you one thing. We all know what is Facebook is, right? Let's say you want to tag me in one comment. How you do that? Or you want to tag me in someone else post or your post. So how you do that? Okay, Anik, that's right. At the sign. So we have to use the same concept here. So at the red sign is basically we use to tag. Okay, we'll use here to tag. So which feature I want to run? For example, I will go here and I want to run standard user from this one. So I'll just put at the red sign. Let's say that I will keep that in a smoke. Okay, smoke testing. And from negative testing, I will keep this logged user in a smoke testing. Okay. Now I want to run only the smoke testing. That means that I have 5 scenario, but I don't want to run all these 5. I want to run only these 2 scenario out of this 5. So go back to the test runner. After this plugin, put a comma, and then just type tags equals to, what is the tag name? At the rate. What is the tag name of the scenarios that I want to run?
Smoke.
Smoke. Now I believe it will run only the smoke test on scenario. One is standard and one is logged out user. Still working. Smoke. You see that this smoke and this is started running, and then this is for standard. Sorry, logged out user. So it run randomly, but it's working. Now it's standard user. So this is the way how we can do the tagging. For example, if you want to run only this scenario at the rate sanity, If you just mention the sanity here in the tag, it will run only that scenario. You got the point? Any question here? So whenever you are thinking that in Cucumber you have to run specific scenarios, just think about the Facebook, that you want to tag a specific person. How can you do that? By using the @ sign and these tags, using these tags. Now, this is about the scenario. But let's say out of these three feature files, I want to run only one feature file. Not all of them, but I want to run all this thing from one feature file. Let's say that I want to run all the positive login feature file. So create a tag before the feature @, let's say it's a positive test. Just use this tag. Even though it's a different tag it has, but it will run both of the scenario because you are running the feature file now. So let's go back to the test runner, sanity, and this positive test. Now it should run two scenario. It should run two scenario from this positive login feature file. So in real work, you might have 100 feature file, but you don't need to run all these 100 feature file. You might need to run only one feature file or any one specific scenario. So you need to use these tags. So this is very important. Okay, so this is done. I didn't have done the completed that performance list as well. It's not working, but it's done. So you see that it's working as expected. Any question here?
The last one, when we are running for the features, we are tagging and we put the name positive test. So over here, can you please scroll up a little bit?
Scroll up a little bit here.
Yeah, so when you put the tag before the smoke.
Oh, in the feature file?
Yes.
Here.
So over here we put the @ and positive test for running the features file only. And
Feature file means that if you have, for example, if you have 10 scenario under this feature file and you want to run only this feature file with all these scenarios,
yes,
you can also tag the feature file.
okay.
And if you want to run one specific scenario, you can
Then
also
I can do tag only the specific scenario. So we put the positive test in top of the scenario, so that's why it's running all the features.
top of the feature. That means it's running all of this scenario of this feature.
Got it.
So if we want to run any specific feature, so we need to do the tag on that feature, right? That
Yes.
we need to tag
Yes.
that feature
Yes, that's true. So you have to create the tag on top of the feature.
on top of
Because
that feature.
one
Okay.
feature file will have only one feature keyword. You cannot create multiple feature keyword, right?
Yes. Yes.
But you can have multiple scenario.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Any question? No questions? You see that it's very easy and confusing, right? No? So my code is there is no issue in my code. I just checked it. It's a pretty and then comma and then HTML and then colon with the target and output. There's no issue with my plugin issue here. What about that if we just use format? Can I use format? Easy yet confusing. Okay. Format. Okay. Can I have format? No, I don't have any format here. But the thing is, Cucumber. If you know the Cucumber, if you know the BDD, this is the most commonly used framework right now. And most of the requirement, you will see that they want you to know that do you know about the BDD, do you know about the Cucumber, all these things or not. Okay. In Cucumber, I believe that there's like very little part you will find is confusing because each and everything is separate. You have a feature where you will write all your steps, and then you have to implement that step in step definition. So that is a different part. Now, if you don't want to keep your data in your step definition in your script, then you can keep the data in a feature file. Now, by the time when you will be working in a like in a project, you might be creating multiple features. So one feature is signing, one feature is registration, another feature is, for example, buying something, adding to cart. So there are like multiple features you have to test. For each and every feature, you have to create a feature file. So when you have like 100 feature file and you need to run only one feature file, how you run it? Because if you run from the feature file, you will not be able to create the report. But to create the report, you have to come here in the test runner class and run that feature file from here. Then only you'll be able to create the report. But this is the format of the creating the report, but for some reason it's not working here. I have to check why it's not working here. Okay. So the question, what question you might get it from here is the most important part of the Cucumber is how you will run your test suite in Cucumber. I already mentioned it a couple of times. If anyone can answer that question. Anyone?
So just want to summarize. You can correct me. I was going to ask you this question anyways before you ask that. So this should be the routine that we create our program or coding in page object model. We start from there, right?
Yes. No.
So
Page object models is concept is coming after when you are working in step definition. Because when you are going to work in step definition, then only you'll know that what element you need to work with.
Okay, I see.
Right?
So yeah, that was my question. Like, we do the step definition first and then the page object model. We create the code and then we store it there, right?
Yes, that's true.
Okay. So to run it, we should start with the
Feature file.
The feature file, and then we run it, and then we see what we need to implement.
Yes, unimplemented functions.
Right. So then we create a step def class, right? Class, and then we either we write our code directly there. Do we do that or no?
Yes. You have to write your code in step definition class.
Right. So we directly write it there, and then we use this test runner class, I think,
to
run it.
Yes. We are using test runner class if you have a multiple feature file to run.
Right. So anything else should we say? I don't know what else should we say.
And if you need to run any specific scenario or any specific feature, then you have to use tags.
Right.
Then you also need to use plugin to create the report.
Okay.
Now in interview, they might ask you, what is glue? So that is the most commonly asked question from the Cucumber. What is glue?
What is glue is attaching, mentioning the package name or
Yeah,
attaching the, yeah.
mentioning the package name where you have your step definition classes. Now,
Okay.
how can we create the reporting test in Cucumber? By using the plugin. Okay, and another most commonly used question is how can we run the test suite in Cucumber?
JUnit Plus, right? This is the answer.
JUnit test runner class.
Test runner class. Yeah.
Yes, JUnit test runner class. Okay, so let me try with this without this part. Let me try this one. So I have a couple of things more about this Cucumber, but do you have any question? Anything else? That will be very easy thing, very simple thing, and that is also very important for the interview. Nope. Okay. Then let's move forward and see. Okay, so let me refresh this project and see if it created this. I don't know why it's not creating this one. So output, it created this report in this format. So there is no print format here. Okay. Okay, so I'll check that why it's not creating this report, and I will try to show you in the next session. Okay, and one more thing, yeah, just give me a second. So one more thing, today we don't have time for that one, but for now on, like for now, just do one thing: write all of your steps like function in one class only. So in the next session, very first thing I'll show you that how can you can create multiple classes. Okay, so that you can based on your feature file you can create the step definition. Okay, so we don't keep all the step definition like steps in one class. We don't do that. So we'll create multiple classes so that the only problem is we have to share the driver. The same thing we did for page object model. If you remember, we share the driver from the script and then we get that web element. So almost the same thing we'll do, but I will show you that in the next session. But for now, just do that in the same class because this will take some extra time to understand how it's working. Okay, so just a couple of things more, then we are done today. Okay, just a couple of things. So in feature file, if you see there is a given and this line only for the common steps you can do that, only for the common steps in your feature file. Okay, remember this one, only for the common steps you can do that. So in this case I have a one common step that is given. Okay, for these kind of steps we can keep that after the feature. If you just type background is another keyword. Okay, background is another keyword where you can keep this step, you can keep this step under the background. So then it will work in both places, in both of the scenarios. So this step will be like considered as a like first step for all the scenario. So if I run this scenario, then it will run as expected. If you see, this first step is in comment, but it's working. You see that? Still it's working. And the reason is the background keyword. Remember that background keyword is only for the matching steps. And we keep that back only the first couple of steps only if it is matching. In our case, it's matching only the first step. Okay, so this is one of the thing, background. And another keyword we have, that is description. This is like if you want to put any description, like what is the testing is, this color doesn't change, but it's a keyword. So if you want to give some description of the test of the feature, you can just type it here. That is fine. Okay, these are only two keywords are remaining from feature from this working language. Okay, so this is about yeah, this is done. Yeah, I think Anila have some questions. I forgot to ask you that question. Yes, what is your question?
Yeah, my question was just that in the class called Step Dev, the assert, what I should import it as, just that.
You can, if JUnit is already there, if you import, you can import it from JUnit, or if you want, you can also just add the library of TestNG and import it from TestNG.
It gives me two options. One is called, the top one is called junit.framework, and the second one is called org.junit. So which one?
JUnit framework.
Okay.
Or you can select the second one, is fine if it is working. Usually it's come from the framework.
Okay, all right, thank you.
No problem. But if you can see that with the second one, and if you see that it's not deprecated, then you can use the second one.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so now the last thing. Okay, this is the last thing, and this is also very important for the interview. So they ask this question. So what is hook? Okay, so the thing is hook. Where is that? Is the definition here? Let me type it here. Hook. Okay, so they can ask you this question: what is hook? It's very simple. You already did that. Don't get like confused with the name of hook. Hook is basically, we have two annotation, at the rate before and at the rate after. Do you know what we do in before method or before test? What you do?
Before test, we just open the browser, the test.
Okay. And what you do in the after?
We just close the website.
Exactly. So we have hook, and in Cucumber we have two hook. One is before hook, and then another is after hook. So usually we don't use the before hook because there is some problem with that, because we don't need to, like, we keep this kind of thing in a step, in a given step. Okay, we don't keep that in a before hook, but we use the after hook to close our browser, to quit our browser. Okay, so in interview they might ask you, okay, so what is hook? So you can just tell them that hook is like is a, we have two kind of hook in Cucumber. One is before hook and after hook. In before hook, if we need to do any prerequisite thing, then we can do that, but usually we don't need to use that. Mostly we use the after hook to close our quit our driver. That's it. You got the point? Any question here? Yes, after the class, I will upload all the code in the GitHub. Any question other than this?
So Jackie, one question is like from it's not the today's session. The last class we learn about build tools like the Maven and the Gradle. So that tools like need only for the organization. Like any other method like the test engine, if you are doing the test engine, we also can do from the Maven. like the Maven
Yes,
build.
I just showed you, right? How can we
Yeah,
get?
yeah, you showed my question is, so these two, the build tools is the using for the organization, the organize
Organizing the code. Yes,
organize our test cases or everything. So
yes.
that is the tool for this one.
Yeah, this is to organize our code. This is to
Mhm.
get to organize our manage our dependencies, right? Manage
Yes,
our dependencies means that manage our libraries, right? That libraries we need,
yeah,
okay, by using the pom.xml. Then this is also used for to run our code, this script from command line or from the remote server.
yes. So
Okay.
this is the build tool is what is used for organize our test uh,
Organize is,
coding.
yes, manage our dependency, like manage our libraries. Most important thing is we can build. So till now I was telling you to run the script from the command line, but it will be better if you use this term to build this project from command line. We need this build tool, right?
Yes. Mhm.
And Maven is the build tool. That's it. So what do you think? Which one is better, Cucumber or Test Engine? Someone is talking, maybe I can't hear you. So Nasiba is talking, but I can't hear you. Your voice was breaking. Anyone else?
Yeah, no sound.
And you are echoing. Anyone else?
It's really hard to answer at this point. We want to be honest when we answer. So let's practice the cucumber a little more, then we can answer better. But definitely, you said that cucumber is easier, and yeah, it does sound like look easier, but we just have to practice a little more, probably get the whole thing, get the hang of the whole thing. So,
Yes.
I think cucumber. So
Just,
yeah, so it's hard to say at this point because we haven't understood completely yet. So
that's
Completely
I
agree.
can
It
understand that.
sounds like we are going slightly faster right now.
Uh,
right, right, right.
that is true. Because we are almost done, and if I extend this class, then I don't want to extend keep same topic in 2 weeks. I don't want to do that because in that way you will be I'll be sharing the homework and it will be in two different topic. I don't want to do that. That's why I try to keep the topic in same week. And I know that the first session is much more easier than the second one, right? In the first session, we just learned that how we are doing it, and the second session is mostly like the advanced part of the topic. Even if you have this situation like you are not understanding anything, you are always welcome to join the help session. Okay, and definitely I will ask you on Monday that which one you prefer, cucumber or test engine. I will prefer cucumber more because most of the cases, most of the requirements you will see they're asking for cucumber. And you should know at least some basic of the test engine. That doesn't mean that you should not learn test engine. You have to know at least some basic of the test engine so that you can at least answer something in the interview. Okay. Okay, so that is it from me. So next week, the first thing I will do is I will show you that if you have a multiple step definition, how can you share the driver, and then I will try to fix this report issue. Any question, any suggestion, or anything? No questions. Okay. Okay, then we are good to go. So we are done with the cucumber. Next week we'll learn OOP concept, like object-oriented programming concept, and most importantly, we'll learn that the next week topic is basically depends. Mostly, it will cover the interview questions. So OOP concept, as you know, that is very important. In each and every interview, they might ask you at least a couple of questions from OOP concept. Secondly, they might ask you something from Git, where you want to keep your code. So you need to know that. Then they will ask you that how you are running your code from server, like not from your machine, not from your computer, from somewhere else. How can you run it? Then some extra advanced codings like action by using the action class. How can we do mouse over, or using the robot class. Then I have some list like that I will show you in next week's session. Okay, and next week is the last session of that Java and Selenium. So try to get all the questions that you have till now, so that we can cover everything in our last session. And after that, next week it will be a SQL, and then it will be API. So after that we are done. You'll be graduated in 3 weeks. Feeling good? No questions? Okay. Okay, let me stop the recording